I am 101 years old today, and if I am being completely honest with you, I have been dead since I was 35. You see me sitting here, my lungs still pulling in air, my heart still beating against my ribs like a trapped bird. But the man I was supposed to be, the one with fire in his gut and a soul that wanted to touch the stars, that man died decades ago because he was too afraid to be unsafe. I look at you young people today with your insurance policies, your 5-year plans, and your obsession with security, and I want to scream until my old throat gives out. You think you're being smart by playing it safe, but you're actually committing a slow-motion suicide. I spent 80 years of my life following the rules, coloring inside the lines, and making sure I never upset the neighbors or my boss. I stayed in a job I hated for 45 years because it had a good pension. I lived in the same town, walked the same streets, and ate the same Tuesday night dinners for half a century because I was terrified of what might happen if I stepped off the path. And now, at 101, I realize that the path was just a treadmill leading to a graveyard. The walls of my life were built out of what if and maybe next year. And now those walls are closing in on me. I realized too late that security is a ghost and safety is a lie we tell ourselves to avoid the pain of actually growing. I remember a girl named Claire back in 1946. She had eyes that looked like the ocean after a storm and a laugh that made you believe in magic. She wanted me to go to Europe with her on a boat with nothing but a suitcase and a dream of painting in Paris. I had the money, I had the time, and I had the invitation. But do you know what I did? I stayed. I told her I couldn't leave my junior accountant position because I was on track for a promotion. I told her it was irresponsible to go wandering around a broken continent without a plan. She left, and I stayed in my cubicle. I got the promotion. I got the gold watch. And every single night for the last 75 years, I have wondered what my life would have been if I had just been irresponsible for once. I chose a paycheck over a soulmate. I chose a title over a memory. And today, Claire is a ghost, and my career is a stack of papers in a dusty basement that nobody will ever read. Don't be the person who chooses the cubicle over the girl. Don't be the person who waits until the timing is right to live, because the timing is never right, and the clock is always ticking. You spend your 20s and 30s worrying about your credit score and your brand. But let me tell you something about being 101. Nobody gives a damn about your brand when you can't walk to the bathroom. You are trading your most vibrant years for a comfort that will eventually become your prison. I see you Americans obsessed with comfort. You want the perfect temperature, the perfect mattress, the perfect job security. But greatness doesn't live in comfort. Life doesn't happen in the safe zone. Life happens in the moments when you're terrified, when you're sweating, when you're not sure if you're going to fail or fly. I lived my life in a climate-controlled box, avoiding every risk, and all it got me was a long life that felt like a short afternoon. I didn't want to fail, so I never tried anything hard. I didn't want to get hurt, so I never loved deeply. I didn't want to look foolish, so I never danced. And now, as I sit here waiting for the end, I realize that the foolish people were the only ones who were actually alive, the ones who lost their money, the ones who got their hearts broken, the ones who traveled until they were broke. They are the ones with the stories that keep them warm at night. I just have a bank statement and a lot of empty silence. The biggest lie they ever told us was that one day we would finally be free to do what we wanted. One day when the kids are grown, one day when the mortgage is paid, one day when I retire. I am 101 years old, and I am still waiting for that one day. By the time I had the money, I didn't have the energy. By the time I had the freedom, I didn't have the health. You have the energy right now. You have the freedom right now. You have the world at your feet, and you're using it to scroll through a phone and worry about what people you don't even like think about you. Stop waiting for a permission slip from life that is never going to come. If you want to start that business, start it. If you want to move to that city, move. If you want to quit that soul-crying job and live in a van, do it. It is better to be a failure at something you love than a success at something you hate. I am a success by every social standard. I have a house, a pension, and a clean record. But inside, I am a failure because I never had the courage to be myself. I look at the world in 2026, and I see so much fear. You're afraid of the economy. You're afraid of politics. You're afraid of what your neighbors think. But have you ever stopped to be afraid of the fact that you're going to be 100 one day and realize you never actually did anything that made your heart race? That is the only thing you should be scared of. Everything else, the money, the reputation, the safety, it's all smoke. I spent my life being a good man, but I wasn't a brave man. And at the end of the road, bravery is the only currency that matters. I see you young people avoiding real conversations because they're uncomfortable. You avoid real commitment because it's risky. You avoid real life because it's messy. Well, let me tell you, life is supposed to be messy. It's supposed to be loud and painful and chaotic. If your life is neat and organized and safe, you're not living it, you're just managing it. And management is for businesses, not for human souls. I wasted so much time trying to be normal. I wanted to fit in, to have the right lawn, to wear the right clothes, to say the right things. I was so worried about being different that I became invisible. And now I'm the only one left from my original circle. And I realize that none of those people I was trying to impress are here to see my normal life. They're all gone. All that energy I spent trying to conform was for nothing. If I could go back, I would be a rebel. I would be loud. I would wear clothes that made people stare. I would speak my truth, even if it made everyone uncomfortable. Because once you're 101, you realize that the only person you ever had to live with was yourself. And if you spent your life being someone else just to be safe, you're going to find yourself sitting across from a stranger in the mirror. You think you have time. You think you'll take that trip next year. You think you'll tell her you love her when the moment is right. But time is a cruel teacher. It gives the test first and the lesson afterward. I thought I had time until I woke up and realized my legs didn't work. I thought I had time until I realized my friends were all in the ground. I thought I had time until I looked at my birth certificate and saw that a century had vanished like a puff of smoke. Don't waste your now on a later that might never happen. Take the risk. Make the mistake. Be the person who tries and fails 1,000 times rather than the person who sits on the sidelines and critiques, because at the end, the critics are forgotten, but the ones who were in the arena, the ones who were unsafe, they are the ones who truly lived. My biggest mistake wasn't a bad investment or a wrong turn. My biggest mistake was being too afraid to fail. I was so scared of looking like a fool that I never became a master of anything. I was so scared of losing what I had that I never reached for what I could have had. I lived a small life because I was afraid of a big world. And now, the big world is still there, but I am too tired to see it. Don't make my mistake. Burn your maps, break your rules, live a life that makes the neighbors whisper and makes your heart sing, because safety isn't a destination, it's a grave, and you're too young to be buried. Thank God for one more day. Now go out and do something that scares you. Go out and be truly, wonderfully, dangerously alive. For me, for the man I should have been. I see you kids on your apps looking for the safe way to date, the safe way to invest, the safe way to live. But there is no such thing as a safe life that is also a meaningful life. You have to be willing to lose it all to win it all. I wasn't willing to lose anything, so I ended up with nothing but a collection of years. I have 101 years, but I don't have many days that were truly mine. Most of my days belong to my boss, my bank, or my fear. Don't give your days away to things that don't love you back. Your boss won't remember your name in 10 years. Your bank won't care about your funeral, but your soul will remember the moments you were brave. Your soul will remember the nights you stayed up laughing, the times you took a chance on a dream, and the people you loved without a safety net. I'm tired now, and my voice is failing me, but I hope you hear me. I hope you feel the weight of my regret and let it light a fire under you. Don't wait until you're 101 to realize that the only thing you'll regret is the things you didn't do, the risks you didn't take, the words you didn't say, the life you didn't live because you were too busy being safe. Go be dangerous. Go be wild. Go be yourself, completely and unapologetically. And when you get to be 101, you can sit in this chair and tell the next generation that you didn't just survive, you actually lived. Thank God for one more breath. Now, go make it count. Goodbye, and don't look back. There's nothing for you back there. The only thing that matters is the road ahead and how much courage you have to walk it without a map.